Okay, Namra. Okay, girl. That's right. Time for you to be a superhero. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic. 안녕하세요, Aisha입니다. We are here with, unfortunately, the final episode of season 1 of All of Us Are Dead, or Chigam Uri Hakyonen. And this has been a crazy ride from beginning to this point. It's one of those things where I feel like 12 episodes is probably a logical conclusion, considering that our arc seems to only be kind of surviving the school at this point. But at the same time, I almost feel like I want to see what else could possibly come out of this, because they've dropped so many hints around possibilities where this virus is concerned, and we're definitely not going to be able to get to all of that in just one episode. But we ended the last episode on a pretty sad note. We lost one of our OGs. I mean, we've lost a lot of OGs, but this is one of the people that I think a lot of us thought were going to make it. And that is Chung-san. He was our protagonist in many ways. He was very much playing that hero role, and he literally took one for the team. He literally went out like a G, saving everybody once he realized that that very special person, Ginam, managed to get some revenge on him. And I just, I ranted all about that in the last episode. You can definitely check out that review if you want to hear more about it. But yeah, that's kind of how we ended. Not sure, like I said, in that episode, I have no idea how we're going to end this one. I don't know if we're going to end it with them making it to the mountains or if we're going to flash forward. There's just so many potential options. So I'm very much ready to get into the episode. But before I do, you know the drill. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Hopefully you like it here. And if you really like what you see here, I really appreciate it if you smash the thumbs up button. It just helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps people to see this video, and it means a lot to me if you would do that. And if you really like it, then maybe you'll hit that subscribe button as well. That way you can be aware of when I start up new shows and watch other things. I watch all kinds of shows, even though this one is over. Same goes for those of you who've been here before. Thank you so much for coming back. We're on a march to 10K. We're getting ever closer, and I'd love it if you were in that journey on that journey with me. All right, enough chattering, guys. I'm ready to get into this. Let's get into the final episode right now. I see ash, but I also see that some bodies don't look like they're fully burned up. And we already know from Ginam they can sustain a lot of damage. Oh, Pumpkin. I know. I don't even know where I'm going to begin to talk to you about the trauma you're going to be experiencing for the rest of your life, sweetie. And that's assuming this is even over, which I feel like we don't even know that yet. This might be your world now. You are the Carl Grimes of this world.
다수가 살기 위해서 대체 어디까지 잔인해도 되는 거냐?
That is the eternal moral question, isn't it? And why I never, ever hope to be in a position to think about. I knew someone was going to get hit by debris. Oh no, not my boy Dae-soo. Anyone got something they can wrap him with? Damn. Can you imagine how that would feel to see like your home, everything you've ever known, just gone in a matter of seconds? I've heard about that happening in places where like there's been volcanoes and, natural disasters, but it's crazy to think about. Interesting how all the guys around her figure after that first time she tried to just sit there and space out that she might be thinking about something dangerous.
잠깐만 기다릴래? 아니, 먼저 가. 금방 따라갈게. 나도 갔다 올게.
같이 가자.
No.
야, 나도 간다.
Sit your butt down. I don't understand why you're coming back here. I mean, truthfully, if Ginam did survive this, it doesn't matter. He'd catch up to y'all anyway, but...
청산아.
Oh, she still has hope. Does she still want, like, zombie Chung-san? Sorry.
이청산!
I guess also she might be thinking that Chung-san's like her, like Namra. That maybe he somehow came back a halfie. I get it, though. She's lost everybody in this show. She has lost everybody. I mean, most of the kids probably have, but she's actually seen her dad and her best friend die.
청산이한테 인사하고 가자.
I mean, at least she has her closure now. I think she probably needed that. I'm wondering what the military will do if they catch up with them, though. Will they kill them?
폭탄까지 썼어. 혹시 우리가 죽길 바라는 건 아닐까?
Technically, they want you to die, but
그럴 리가 없잖아.
we won't talk about it.
나 때문에 그런 거 같아.
Yes. Smart girl. That's why she's the president.
니들이랑 이렇게 끝까지 같이 가도 될까?
I'm starting to think
여전히
that
친구고 우리랑 반장이야.
unless y'all gonna be living in the woods forever, she can't really integrate back into society.
누나,
Yes.
저기.
뭐 있다.
Oh, isn't that what Unjo's dad was leaving? I think he tried to leave a safe trail back to the city, but I mean, it actually is safe for them to go back to the city now. Why is it always the biggest guys who are getting hurt? Like, it's so much harder to carry them. I mean, not that I want anyone else to, but geez, why couldn't it have been like one of the girls? You could literally throw one of them over your shoulder. Your dad's still protecting you from the grave. That's a real G. I know, sweetie. I know you've been through a lot, but now's not the time to mourn. You should move while there's daylight. You can't see shit at night. Come on. Deep breaths. We're going to cry later. You get to cry for a solid month when you get someplace that's remotely safe. Oh my God. I thought he didn't torch it.
잘 보존해서 이송해. 절대 놓치거나 손상되면 안 돼. 알겠습니다.
I guess, I don't know. I don't trust anyone who looks like that guy. They should just be freaking killing anything to do with it, right? Like, if to justify all this death, but you know the government, you know that they're going to try to weaponize what happened here.
좀비들이 난리쳤으면 이렇게 깨끗할 리가 없는데.
Namra, I get nervous when she gets stiff. If Ginam is behind them, I swear to Jesus.
남나야 왜 그래?
Whole freaking herd of them, how? Okay, you're surrounded by buildings. When you get into one like now? We can count indoors! Yeah, they're gonna find y'all because they're starving. But how are they able to smell anything with all this smoke? Okay, she pulled the eye patch off. She said it's about time to fight, y'all. Come on, Daesu. I need you to suck it up, boo. I know, Goop, but I don't want to lose another good-hearted person, man. It's probably true. At this point, they have to learn to fight these guys. Running is only going to last for so long.
나불지 말고 뒤에 있어.
Aw. Hey, at least he tried to protect you. Where's the damn army? Shovel to the face. No way we're all walking away with no bites after this. No way. Head? Why do none of you guys aim for the head? I'm so furious. Sister, why haven't you told them this yet? Can the military show up now? That's it, Namra. Okay, Namra. Okay, girl. That's right. Time for you to be a superhero. You need to do better with these powers than that A-hat. The jerk did. No, I don't want to see Daesu get his face bit, please. That looked like he got bit. Oh, no, he's got the guard up, yes? She said, not my man, not today. Can you help out Daesu, please? Anybody? Please? That's right. Daesu's had it up to here. Oh, little bro died for his big sis. I told you they weren't all making it out of this. I freaking knew it. Why does no one ever stab through the head? I'm sick. You were a real one, Woojin. You really were. They're just gonna make sure no family units stay intact in this show, huh? Damn, I had a feeling. I'm like, they're the only family that didn't... Exactly. Thank you. Yeah, tell them the truth.
나 계속 살아. 알았지? 포기하지 마라.
Too late. You guys, yeah, maybe let her do it.
안 돼.
Yes,
그러지면 안
Ujin.
돼.
Yes, Ujin.
하지 마.
Yes, Ujin. I'm sorry. Do you want to die with him? Is that what you want? Oh, okay. My boy Skittles backwards. Yeah, Namra said not today. Thank you, Namra. I know, though. I knew she wouldn't have been able to do it. Y'all, I'm sorry. You don't have time to grieve. We gotta go.
아무 의미 없이 죽지 마요.
Exactly. If you can survive, you think your brother would want you to go out there and commit suicide right now? Ain't gonna benefit nobody. Take that rage and take it to anybody else you come across. Oh my God. No. Ooh, Namra, hold it together, bitch. Oh, Namra, girl, bite your hand.
먹어.
아니,
먹어.
아니,
다
안
먹어버려.
먹어. 제발.
죽여버려.
Come on, Namra. You've held on this long, boo. Maybe bite that pylon over there or something. And what frustrates me is that Suok, that ass, he just keeps making it hard for her. I hate it because I think Namra's very helpful. But at the same time, I also feel like she's getting to the point where she's going to be more of a hindrance, you know? And I'm wondering if she does have to feed, right? Because both Rooftop Girl and Ginam ate somebody at least once or twice, right? I feel like they have to feed. Like she has to feed.
혼자 갈 수 있지?
뭐 어떡하려고?
먼저 가. 금방 따라갈게.
야, 원조야. 야, 나 원조!
Dude, you are the one person who can't go that way. Go backwards. Back, back, back. I get it, though. Daesu's just one of those guys. He doesn't want to see anybody else go.
만나야.
She's like, can you please leave me to my shameful binging moment, please?
같이 가자. 응? 오지 말라고 했잖아!
나 이러지 마.
She told you to leave. Y'all, if one of y'all gets bit here, this is where we're going to lose Suok, isn't it? I'm sorry. I'm tiring of this. You were gonna let Unjo get bit? Suok, you dropped like 2 points in my books, man. I know you like this hoe, but you can't even be with her no more.
괜찮아, 만나야.
What is wrong with these people? But then again, I get it. I feel like Unjo doesn't feel like she got nothing left to live for.
원조야, 괜찮아?
She didn't bite her.
남나야.
Leave her alone. She's actually the safest out of all y'all. They will not bite her. These kids are getting on my last nerve. Namra is not okay, y'all. Like, I listen, I love her and I love how much she's been doing for the team. But I feel like she needs to feed and she's losing it more and more and more. She's going to eat all of y'all and have to live with that. Why do you want to put that on her? While you're screaming and attracting more goddamn zombies. I'm mad. She could feed and catch up with y'all and be just fine.
전부 따라와. 오늘은 내가 이 학교에서
Chung-san had a good last day. He did. At least he got a kiss from his love. At least they didn't turn them away.
이병찬 선생이라고 알아?
Oh, God, really?
공부하느라 오전 수업밖에 안 돼.
Forgot about this. Guess they need to know who might have known.
그 선생이 평소 이상한 말이나 행동한 적 있어?
How the hell would...
지금 그게 중요한 게 아니라.
I'm with her, for once.
우리 버린 거 맞잖아요.
조사에 협조만 잘해주면. 아니요.
Exactly.
나 다시는 어른들한테.
We fended for our damn selves.
나한테 어떤 협조도 부탁하지 마세요.
She's had it up to here. You can't see where my hand went, but it went to the ceiling. That's where she's had it up to. Meanwhile, these kids are trying to brew up a whole new batch of this Oh, they killed them. Okay. Or moved them. They probably moved them. Well, she definitely looks more at peace. That's nice. Where are they even going to go, though? Like, they have no homes, right? Although they did say they tried to keep the damage minimal. Where is this girl going? Please tell me you're not doing foolishness after all this. A lot of people died to make sure you lived. Your daddy and your boy included. She went back for it. Oh, no, he gave it to her. Sorry. Was that at the school?
남나가 그랬거든. 우리 다시 만나면 꼭 다시 모닥불 피우자고.
You have no idea what state Namra's in right now, though. Okay, but I guess, these kids are in a state that none of us will fully understand what they've been through. And they do owe Namra their lives for a lot of things.
온재야, 그날 미안해.
The fact that you almost let her bite you,
그때 남나가 너 물려고 했을 때
I think that's owed.
애들한테 말하지 마. 위험할지 모르니까 둘이서만 갔다 오자.
It's so interesting. I somewhat understand how, like, she doesn't want to see them because it is, like, the collective trauma, but they're also, like, no one else in the world that's going to understand what they went through except them, So, I don't know. It just might take some time, though. 4 months is really no time at all. And especially since they were locked up for the entire time of that. So you're not good at keeping secrets, huh?
너만 알고 있어.
You told Dae-soo of all people? Come on! Even I would have told you he would have talked.
너만 비추고 사는 거 아니야. 다들 너처럼 아파. 혼자 있는다고 덜 아픈 것도 아니고.
She just spoke some bars. Not the rapper. It's a sentiment that counts.
다음엔 한 박스 사다 줄게.
He still feels guilty about that.
불빛이다.
Oh? You all better pray it ain't Ginam. I'm just saying, if I went through all that, I want to live. I would be like, pack my bags as soon as possible, fly my ass out of Korea. Where's the point that's furthest from Korea? That would be my life. Like, and a place that's sparsely populated in the future as well, for good measure, to make sure that if this ever happens again, I'm not going through all this. I don't think it'll really ever be a safe zone again, will it? And it's interesting that it's actually a safe zone now. It wasn't for half those students beforehand with all the bullying and the BS that everyone was turning a blind eye to.
진짜 남나일까?
We have no idea.
왠지 모르겠지만 남나
I'm sorry, but I would cackle if it is her and she just like runs and goes straight for Suyok's throat. If it is Namra, she would have heard them coming for a while and smelt them. 안녕. Please don't kill me.
그 유튜브 하거나 그런 애들 아닐까?
I mean,
성가 체험하고 그런 애들.
that's really not that far-fetched.
헌정. 남나야.
How's she looking? She all right? Oh, feeding's been doing her well.
반장.
나 아직도 반장이야?
I feel like you're going to be the president of this club for life.
보고 싶었어.
That's nice.
니들 전부 다.
It would be a lonely life if you chose not to give in to the darkness.
가자. 같이 가자.
No.
여기 할 일이 좀 남았어. 무슨 할 일?
Things that don't involve you. Go back to camp.
더 있더라. 몇 명은 학교 밖으로 도망간 것 같은데 아직 남은 애들이 있어.
I wonder if they still age.
같이 안 있어도 우리 친구잖아.
Exactly. Keep her in your prayers. It's not safe for her to be around other people. You can't do that. That's selfish.
또 왔다.
They who?
나 다시 올게.
You gonna bring all your Hamby friends? She can do that now. Huh? See, it's why she want to go back with y'all. You tell me the army isn't gonna lock her up for the rest of her life if they find her. They probably will one day. I swear, I don't want to hold out hope for Chung, but if they bring back Chung-san, I would love it if Chung-san was like at least still alive, even if he can't be, with the group. Why wouldn't he? No, actually, he wouldn't want to. What is this music? Y'all making me nervous. Okay, he's half smiling. Maybe it's not that bad. What is happening? Why is this scene taking so long? Come on. Really? Is there an ending credit scene? Because you've got to be kidding me. They're dead ass. Wow. Okay, well, I guess I was wondering if they would leave an opening for a season 2, and I guess this is the way they plan to do it. An army of half zombies, I guess. Like I said, was holding out maybe a little teeny bit of hope that maybe Chung-san turned out like her, but like I said, I just don't see him not attempting to try to talk to Eunjo or get to her somehow. But then again, depending on what condition he was in and all that, he may not feel comfortable doing that either. Because we all know that Namra had a hard time dealing with it, and that she probably would have left several times if it had been for Suok. So leaves some interesting ideas for season 2 and what's possible, because what's the world going to be like? We know the government's not done with these Hambies, as it were, and we saw that the girl from the rooftop, she was no longer in that quarantine room, but I doubt that they killed her. I think that they kept her for study, especially if they took, patients 0 and 1 someplace to be studied. So, the plot thickens. Whew. Wow, guys, that was a finale. There was a finale for the show. It's very interesting. Like, I remember thinking that I wasn't exactly sure how they were going to end this in a way that, like, were they going to end it like this is the end of the show, or were they going to leave it on like an open ending in the sense of the zombie apocalypse is not over, like it's actually spread further, this is going to become like a Walking Dead situation where this is going to go on for centuries. Like, I wasn't sure, but now they gave us the impression that things are somewhat under control now. We saw the soldiers going in, cleaning up whatever zombies that weren't taken out, but also we know that they've discovered that that high-pitched sound draws them out like wildfire, and we know, actually, they know that too. They know that any of the ones that are half, the ones that aren't fully infected, I guess, or who have the variants, they also are weakened and basically disoriented by that sound too. So it looks like for the moment, things seem to be very contained, or they managed to contain it to the Hyeonsan and Yangdong areas, like that, those two, if we want to think of them as circles, those two zones, I guess, they managed to keep the outbreak from spreading beyond that. But we know that it's not over, because we know that, like I said, it looks like they took the girl from the rooftop to continue to study on her, which I actually feel badly for her, honestly. Like, I've had mixed feelings about her character the entire series, in the sense of, obviously, I felt horrible for what she went through as far as the bullying and the assault that she suffered at the hands of those bullies. But at the same time, I don't know if I agreed with the whole idea of her basically wanting to kill anybody that came into her way. Like, I understand why she got to that place. Like, they definitely gave her a villain origin story and a reason to not give a damn about anybody that was in that school. However, she and Ginam were two stellar examples of what not to do when you get superpowers, right? Because that's essentially what they've gotten, right? They've become a hybrid type of species where, like Namra said at the end, I'm not really human, I'm not really a zombie, but, we know that, like, they definitely have advantages, right? Like, they basically can't be hurt. They heal from almost anything. I don't know about speed. They didn't really show them being any faster, but they're definitely stronger. And as long as she can feed on something, or they can feed, it looks like they don't need to sleep, or, actually it's not true. Ginam did rest when he was healing. It seems like that's the only time is when, if they get hurt really bad, they seem to need to rest to heal up. But you get my point. Like, it seems like as long as they feed, she's Gucci, right? Like, this is pretty much a sweet, plus they have the improved hearing and smell. So they have kind of become like these heightened animals, but of course there is that crazy side effect of having to eat flesh. Otherwise, it looks like inevitably they will lose their minds, because we saw that Namra was losing it. But I'm going to get to her in a minute. Let's continue with the fact that this isn't over. They took, I think, that girl, and I do feel bad for her, as I said, because despite the fact that she was kind of turning into a bully herself with this power, I don't think she deserves to be a lab rat the rest of her life either. And honestly, that's probably what she's going to become, because chances are her family is gone, right? Chances are her family was in Hyosan and they're dead. So there's no one to speak up for this girl. There's no one to stop the government from doing what they're doing. People don't even miss her, right? That's the sad reality. No one even misses her. So they basically can test on her, to their heart's content. And unless she breaks out, there's no way to save her. And it worries me because the fact that they're going to do this to her with her actually understanding what's going on, I feel like if there is a season 2, that's definitely going to be a possible premise, is her breaking out of that facility, finding a way, because she was getting really strong. We saw she eventually got to the point where she was breaking out of her restraints and things like that. So I feel like I could see that happening in season 2 if there is one, of her getting fed up of being a lab rat and deciding to bust out, or figuring out how to bust out. Because I feel like the other advantage she's got is that she still looks like a teenage girl, very innocent and sweet. And, you know, she gets smart enough to play up that angle and get somebody's empathy really running for her as being this trapped girl in this box. She just might trick somebody into letting her out, right? So anyways, that's going way down the line here. But anyways, we know that she's still alive. We know that they took the science teacher's son and wife, and they said not to damage them and not to kill them. So they clearly want to still use them. Like I said many times throughout the episode, it's wishful thinking that the government would really actually try to eradicate all of this. That's just not the way the world works. We know that chemical warfare, biological warfare are very real things, and any government out there, if they could find a way to weaponize this in a way and control it, of course they would, right? Or even if they couldn't like control it, think if like you know, God forbid we got into some kind of massive war with something and you could drop this into a society, you could wipe it out in a matter of days, right? You could totally take out a society just like that. Again, of course, the biggest issue would be how would you contain it at that point, but you get my point. There's no way and that's the thing. The other thing too is that, like I said way back in the beginning of the season, there's a scientist behind this, and scientists are endlessly curious typically, right? I mean, not just scientists, a lot of people are in other ways, but you get my point. Science is literally all about discovery and learning, and there's no way that they're not going to look at this thing that the science teacher created and not want to learn more about it, expound on it, see if they can make it worse, make it better, whatever. But you get my point. It's not going anywhere. And the fact that they're still keeping the purest forms almost of this virus in the mother and son, and then, you know, the girl from the rooftop is, I wouldn't say she's the purest, but she's one of the first hybrids. And I don't know if this hybrid thing would continue if there were more zombies left, or if it somehow changes and mutates and gets worse or better with each person who has it. But you get my point. Like, it's something that scientists would want to learn a lot more about. And so it's scary. And that says, obviously it's not over. As long as the virus still exists, there's still a possibility an outbreak can happen again. And that's obviously a worry. But the way that they ended it, of course, finally the kids getting a break in the sense of being rescued. Before that, though, we saw that we lost, one last kid. Like I said, I knew we were going to lose at least one more before we got to the end of this because the group was still too big. I have to say, we definitely lost more. Did we have more dudes than girls? We did. I think we had a few more boys than girls, but yeah, I was gonna say we lost more males than we did females, to be honest. I mean, the one girl with the short pixie cut, I can't think of her name right now. Bless her heart, but she was kind of useless right up until that last fight against the zombies. She really was. But anyway, she somehow survived. But again, I shouldn't say somehow. She survived because all those guys stepped up to protect all the girls for the most part, and hence we lost the majority of the guys. And like I said, like all of them were sad. Like all the losses we got were sad losses. Losing, obviously, Kyung-soo still hurts, right? Because that was a completely unnecessary death. Did not need to happen. It wasn't even because of a zombie. It was because of a human, if you want to call her that. Again, don't really care about Nayeon. Still don't. Sorry. I know, again, effectively, emotionally, I understand what she did, and I understand it's more than just her elitist issues, but I still can't feel badly for her. In fact, I saw a reaction where someone said that she was a narcissist, and that was a brilliant way to describe her. That's exactly what Nayeon was. She was a narcissist, and her narcissism is what made her basically think that she was in the right to do what she did to Gong-soo and then actually victimize herself after. But I'm not going to rant about her again. I already did that in that episode, but yeah, we lost her, but like I said, no one was really sad about that. We lost, the archery boy, we didn't know much about either, to be honest. We didn't get too close to him, but it was kind of sad. We lost the big boy. Again, not that sad, but these are, of course, in the peripheral group, so I don't think we were meant to be that attached to them. But within our group, I feel like Jung-soo, our nerdy boy, again, I was sad that we lost him because he did seem like a good kid, but he's definitely a background compared to some of the other male characters, so I wasn't surprised that as soon as you saw in that episode, I knew right away he was going to go. I really thought we were going to lose our big guy, Dae-soo. I did. I was like, oh God, I don't know what I'm going to do if we lose him. I love our big teddy bear. Thankfully, he made it. I hope I have his name right. I keep saying that, but maybe I'm wrong about that. But I think that's his name. But you know, the big chub, the big fluffy boy. I'm glad we didn't lose him. I really thought we were going to, but he did end up making it. And like I said, and of course, the biggest, I think, hit to all of us was Chung-san, because he did sacrifice himself for everybody. And I really thought, like, I knew between our two heroic characters, because Chung-san and Suok were very similar in character, right? They both were very much the chivalrous type. They were very athletic. They were strong. They were not scared to, you know, do what needed to be done to save or protect other people. So it's very rare in a show like this to have two people who have that exact same mindset and actually are both like altruistically good. Because sometimes you get two guys who are badasses or two people who are badasses, but one of them's a little, you know, one's a little self-serving or a little bit tainted in some way. But genuinely, Chung-san and Suyok were both really good guys, and either one of them would have hurt to lose. So I sadly knew from the get-go that there was no way we're going to get both heroes surviving. That would have been a lovely thought. I think I said back in episode 2 that my OT, you know, my OG, yeah, like my absolute dream team would be is if it was Suok, Namra, if it had been Suok, Namra, Chung-san, and Eunjo. If those four had survived, I would have been like, that's my dream. That would have been epic. I was willing to lose everybody else. Even though I love the Dae-soo, and I mean the archery chick too was pretty cool. It was named Hari. She was cool. I could lose everybody else. Those are my dream four. But I knew that because Suok and Chung-san were so close in character, the chances that both of them are going to make it through was pretty small, and I was right about it. I feel bad for saying it, but I feel like it would have been nicer if Suok died, just in the sense of that we didn't really get a sense that he had anyone, in the sense of like, yes, there was Namra, but you know, Namra was already, you know, she's a half zombie now. Like, it's not like they can really have a relationship at this point. So I was like, it would be like, he would go like the perfect hero send off. You know, he could have been the guy to be that one who died and they could all like memorialize. But, you know, it was a real, you know, Joss Whedon type decision to have Chung-san be the guy who ate it, because he really did still have one last thing to live for, which would have been his relationship with Eunjo if it could have happened, because he really was in love with that girl and they both had lost everything. But the show kind of made sure that no one walked away without losing somebody, right? Like no one, because I said it in this episode, right? And that's why I wasn't surprised that they took out Hari's little brother. I wasn't surprised that he got taken out, because I was like, that's the only family that's still intact, that's been intact since the beginning, right? Poor Hari, I feel bad for her. I thought it was really sweet, though, that they had her brother protect her baby brother, right? The one that she kind of scoffed at when he said he wanted to protect her. But in the end, that's exactly what he did. And probably going to haunt her forever that was something she couldn't fix. But I think, again, it's the whole idea, I guess, that this group is so bonded by trauma. And I said this in the episode, right? How even though we saw that, I guess, after the quarantine ended and they were kind of allowed to be around each other again, Eunjo was keeping her distance. She was actually avoiding everybody because, you know, for her, it's like I said, it's a unique situation where that group is the only group that will fully understand what she's going through and that she'll have this very unique bond with. But it's also something that would remind you about the most horrible times of your life. And kind of speaking of that thread, you know, when they were being interviewed by the military afterwards, because they're still trying to piece together all these things all about the science teacher. And like, I was completely with the kids, like, what does this even matter at this point? Like, the science teacher is dead. And second of all, when they're like, oh, you have to cooperate. And I just love the way Eunjo said, listen, we had to do all that ourselves. What are you even talking about? We survived almost a damn week on our own with absolutely no training, no weapons, nothing to really help us survive this thing. We did that when your asses came, looked us in the face, and then left and gave us zero explanation as to why. And you want us to now sit here and sit pretty and cooperate with you like we owe you something? When we came to you, like, I was 100% with her. Like, girl, they can't say nothing to you. They can't say nothing to you. Although that would have been a lot harder without Namra. Namra was definitely, I don't know what you call it, like the golden ticket, right? The fact that she had those senses to help them out, to know when zombies were coming, to know when danger was up there before it happened. And then, of course, we saw she had that strength that came in every so often. That came in pretty clutch. So absolutely, she was helpful. If they could find her again on the outside, it would have been good. But I do like that they did have Namra leave the group, because we've been seeing since last episode especially that she's fighting with the monster inside her, right? She may not give into it fully yet, but I think if she had gone another day or two without feeding, she would have lost it. Like we saw, I like the way they illustrated it as like a voice in her head. and that she was just kind of like her rational mind that's still intact was trying to be like, no, you can't do it. You saw me, I was a bit frustrated with both Eunjo and Suok. I completely understand their desperation to keep her in their lives after all that they'd been through, and losing so many people, but they weren't thinking rationally. Like, this was not a long-term solution, them all being together. Even at the end when Eunjo went back to the campfire and was like, you should come with us, and she's like, girl, I can't go with you. Like, you're still not thinking straight. I am not human. I know I look cute right now, but this eye be drooping, things be happening, and I don't want to be the person to bite one of y'all. Have to live with that. But thankfully Namra's not really gone, and I think it's very interesting that she said that obviously that there are more like her. I mean, that makes sense. There's no way her and Ginam and that one girl on the rooftop were the only ones. There had to be more that have the ability to adapt to this virus. So I'm very interested in what they're planning to bring in and potentially in the next season if they have one. But I can't help it. I guess it's just because I really like Chung San's character so much. I want to believe that he's not gone. I mean, the show has no reason to let him live. I mean, it kind of would, I guess, feel a little like his death was anticlimactic if they do bring him back. But I don't know. The fact that they showed that at least his hand was still very much intact underneath all that ash at the bottom there, and the fact that they took the time to show his hand and of course Eunjo's nameplate, like, I don't know. I just feel like they're dropping hints that maybe Chung San might have survived this. And again, he was bitten by Ginam, and Ginam is the half zombie situation. I'm still holding out hope though, because I can't accept that Chung San had to go down for that anyway. But it was a fun ride though. I think this is a really fun show overall. I think it was very realistic, in the sense of how to handle a zombie show. We had a lot of, sad moments, but we also saw the kids realistically get through it. And I think that's a really good point to make, is that they made sure to keep things really realistic, right? These kids weren't suddenly all amazing at fighting. They weren't all suddenly amazing at hiding and ducking. They weren't all suddenly amazing at strategizing. Like, they showed a very realistic depiction of what a bunch of 17-year-olds would be able to do if a zombie apocalypse of that magnitude and that speed descended upon them. It was never overly cheesy, in my opinion. I think they sprinkled in just the right amount of humor when it was necessary. They made you really empathize with the characters, even if we didn't get to see them a lot. Yeah, I think that it was really, really well done. So that was a lot of fun. I mean, I usually am quite impressed with things that come out of Korea, especially in the terms of like horror and like this kind of supernatural stuff. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, I really appreciate it if you give this video a thumbs up. If this is the only show that you are watching of mine, then thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you'll join me for another show in the future if you're interested. And if you watch other shows of me, or other shows that I react to, I should say, I will see you in the next video.